Mm. All right. So I've tested this without the collision around the police officer, but the thing is, there will be collision around the police officer, or at least that's my current plan. I can see that I haven't quite implemented that correctly, apparently. Not entirely sure what I'm doing wrong. In any case, this stream started at 10:45. I was a little late. I got distracted. I am sorry. Okay, so ICU will be created. These are created. So it looks like this should be created. Really should be that there's collision right here, but apparently not. Furthermore, I realized a bit of a flaw after I stopped streaming, which is that okay, well they're not quite there, but if the frame rate is low enough, then the murderer will actually go back and forth trying to get onto a node exactly, but never being able to do so. Hmm. I see. I have more issues to solve than I thought. Okay, I guess there's also that. So, three things. The first thing is that there doesn't seem to be any collision. That is a lot of collision pieces, but I'm going to just try checking the. You know what? I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. Actually, that should be enough. So I can tell if the events are happening. I say that as if it's a question. I should be able to tell if the events are happening based off of finding an ICU piece uh, with that variable set. An invisible collision up. Invisible. Right, I'm looking here. No? Okay. Not entirely sure why, but it does. Maybe no, because then it would recompile. Then that would have. Oh, it's ICU sprite. To prevent myself from having to look through a bunch of these, I'm going to just do that. So most collision pieces won't need an ID, but certain ones that are involved with interactions will. So I'll probably have to identify, like, for door pieces. I'll have to identify which pieces should be deleted. Ah, there we are. And then it's not there, is it? It is. It. I. I don't remember changing code all that much. Why is it there now? This has me confused. Why is it there? I mean, this is what I hoped for, but I still don't understand why it's there. Okay. All right. I guess that leaves this. Animation start. Maybe this is why? X is greater goes here. And X is less than goes here. This should work. Hopefully. Stay hydrated. All right. Just waiting on to compile. Let's play in a window. Here we are. That was fast. And I'm sure that's not how that's supposed to work, but in any case. So something might be wrong. I don't know. But I feel like something here is not how it's supposed to be. Oh well. Stage 2. Stage 3. Hmm. player. That's what I was looking for. I see. So let me double check what the animations are, just so I know what goes where. So 0, 1, 2, 3 are normal. 4 is down. 5 is to the right. 6 is to the left. 1 is still used for up, since there would be no change. So 4 is down. Hmm, I think that's correct. I'm not entirely sure. Also, I think the back plates for the equipment is still visible despite the fact that there's no equipment equipped. Window. These are still here despite the fact that I don't have anything to hanging out here since it charges slightly faster. I would know. I made the game. I even made that part of the game right here on stream. There we go. There we go. Delicious. Hmm. Might be an issue. Alright, so I guess that's that resolved. The other thing is that, wait a minute, hold on. If I remember correctly from like a few minutes ago, yeah, that's going to be an issue. Yeah, I don't think that should happen. So, I mean, that is unusual. Track type. What type is that actually? A type, B type, B param 1. Oh, I know what it's doing. It's emulating a police officer because police officers are 0. Yeah, I probably should change that to something else. What is the code for that? 0, 1, 2, 2. Okay. So I want to get rid of that. I don't know why I have that there. I'm just going to yoink this out. And I'm going to copy these two variables over here. And I'm going to change these. This is going to be like 0.5. this is going to be a 2. There we go. Now a 1 and a 2. Do we have a 3? Okay, that was a joke that was probably not obvious nor really any funny, even if you did get it. Right, so I actually do want to do that. I also want to go ahead and objects, delete an object. Where is it? I should actually probably delete the interactable object, because that's what it's looking for. If I told it to delete the evidence bag, it wouldn't carry this context. It wouldn't carry all the context that came before it, unless it would delete every evidence bag. But just to be sure, let's have a little test. There should only really be one evidence bag that is I don't think I said that correctly. There's probably multiple. No. No. Still emulating something it shouldn't. Okay, so the roughness of the interaction here outlines another problem, but that will have to wait because it's still acting like a police officer. Maybe I'm still interacting with a police officer. Hopefully this solves the issue. I'm guessing it did not. Is the evidence bag actually having its variables set correctly? Because there's only one. Interact type is 2. Alright. Hold on. Interact type. Stage 3. Interact type. Which means somewhere is looking for its item type, which should not be looking for. I mean, it should be going down this code path, but it seems like it's not. variable carry item of characters is equal to 0. Delete interactables, which is this interactable, which gains its context from here and here to be just one particular item. You know what? I'm going to do something. Sprites. There we go. That way I'll be able to identify if this code is running or where is it? If this code is running. If the other code is, if the correct code is running, then in theory it should be deleting itself, but it hasn't, so I'm a little concerned. If the police officer code is running, then it should be turning blue. Either case, it will change color, unless it's just some other piece of code running and I have a bigger headache. Well, I would have to have a headache. I don't literally have a headache, but it will be a bit of a problem. Okay. Giving myself a lot of opportunity to tell what time it is. Okay. Play in a window. I'm sorry, what? Okay. So first, it seems like uh my problem is a little bit bigger than I initially expected. It seems like a lot of these items had turned blue. The one thing that I suppose may probably would have just turned a little darker, considering it's mostly blue anyways. Uh, did not in fact do such a thing. All of these items did such a thing. I have a bigger problem at my on hand. Okay, okay, okay. So first, this tells me that when I'm interacting with this, it's probably checking something like this. Or any of the others. Which leaves me in a predicament. I'm going to deactivate that, deactivate that, deactivate that, and I'm going to see if this gets any better. I guess the biggest answer would be just set those things differently. And I mean, yeah, that's the eventual solution. But right now, I'm just going to see if this is a problem. Okay, okay, okay. So it did what it was supposed to. I mean, there was the issue that it didn't get rid of the. Also, sometimes collision seems to be an issue, but I probably fix that just by pushing everything out. But it seems like there wasn't any issue with. Sorry. There wasn't any issue with getting the bag. It was just the fact that literally everything else was being referenced, except for the knives. I suppose. I suppose those are fine. I also fixed the issue with our murder going okay, maybe not entirely, but I think that might have been because it saw me as more to mm, perhaps not though. Thing about that is it will still go ahead and try to kill you even when it's running. Yeah, there we go. And from what I remember, it does that without having to work with the code in attack. Because I tried disabling this and then it still killed me. Maybe it was working and didn't recompile that part. Maybe. Who knows? Or maybe it's some other part. It might be. It probably is some other part. I'm gonna check that actually. Loss management. Killed. No. It should just then be murder movement, which then does the killed action to the player. Alright. A lot of sounds outside. Alright, alright. Sorry, I muted the mic there for a second. I didn't want wait, that's the wrong thing. I didn't want to have the noise outside echoing through into the microphone. I'm gonna say this is a 2.5 second search time. think that might be up to code. There's the other thing I disabled. Right, it was this. Should add a 5. Variable iterator. Set. I don't need the iterator here. So track type will be 5. Will be 5 here. Oh, right, hold on. I almost forgot. I seem to have forgotten here, which is probably a bit of a reason why I had a problem in the past. What is the time for a knife to be searched? 1 second. I think this would take 1.25. I guess really technically you would just open up the lid of the armor. I'm gonna add a group here. Exposed evidence for all the evidence that was found. And I'm going to go through each object, but hopefully without having to go through for each of just every object. So what I will do is variables, value of a variable, and let's say for cartoon knife, variable exposed is equal to 1. Since items, the weapon or potential weapons are unchanged in their appearance unless they are actually the murder weapon, I don't have to do any checks on that. But since the objects that the victim's body could be found inside do change, whether or not there's something inside of it, I will have to do some condition checking for that. Wait, didn't I do something with a knife? Oh, right, cartoon knife. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, right, because I wanted animation for every rotation on every object as a standard, and I did this to match it up. Whoops. Let's load that back up. So 4 it will be. Really, I could just do like weapons dot. Actually, I might do that. That might actually be faster. Eligible weapons exposed is equal to 1. Then that. Actually, I could probably do this without a condition. It would just be eligible weapons. Though I might have to do it for each here since I would be doing something. Eligible weapons dot variable exposed times 4 plus a different variable, which is like animation offset. So for each object, eligible weapons. You can just copy that in there. No need for conditions. I'm gonna actually search this to see if there is an eligible weapon. I'm not entirely sure, but I think there might not actually be one, or not eligible weapon, but weapon that's actually it. So, there we are, cartoon knife. And it puts me right at the top of the list anyways. So, all right, I would actually have to okay, I'm not getting a hold of that. Hmm. Nothing? Yeah, I don't think that was set. All right. All right. I'm going to try looking something up. Where is it? UID evidence weapon UID. What is this, like 10 now? So I'm pretty sure in tests there's like 8 and 9. 8, 9, yep. All right, my plan for today and tomorrow is that I'll stream in like what 12:30. Uh, so I will have uh some time to work on the library, or at least to say I would be working on the library. Because let's be honest, I'm probably going to get distracted. Right, debugger. Probe 10 is 0, which is not helpful. This should work. Oh, it's not. Hopefully this works better. And by better, I mean at all. Which is technically better. I mean, it is literally better. Six. Alright, and what one is that? Who knows? Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Potentially. None down here, since they don't Oh, hello. Nice. There we are. I have an evidence bag. Yeah, I didn't think there was anything there for me. In any case, I shouldn't be able to interact with any other of these, which I wasn't. I, however, got killed. That's okay. I'm testing this, and also it didn't kill me before any unuseful or before any useful information would have gotten to me. I got my useful information, and furthermore, I think I can get rid of the. Hold on, I want to double check because I'm pretty sure I didn't interact with the police officer, but nonetheless, still got an evidence bag. Okay. Oh. Hmm. This knife up here seems to be linked to this police officer. Okay. Ah, that's what that is. I was wondering what this was. I thought it was like a little piece of collision that was visible and was sticking out. And I feel like the reason why that police officer spawns with, or that thing, this knife, interacts with the police officer in such a way is because I think there's, yeah, that should not be there. I think they actually shared an ID, which is not what I want. I should also go ahead and copy the UID from the spawner, but since they don't have it yet, they're random. Or at least they would be random, except it seems like at least twice that that one police officer was sharing the same ID as that weapon. Perhaps a coincidence, but you know, I would just actually prefer not to chalk it up to coincidence. that police officer seems completely fine. And if I talk to him, I get an evidence bag, and then he becomes blue. And I still don't have any code for picking up the knife. But that's okay, because I haven't written that yet. I had in the past, but I got rid of that code. I'm gonna make the police turn towards the players, so I'm gonna group this with I'm gonna put this in here. Close that up. Group. Turn player. Not gonna finish that now, but I am going to do, well, nothing with it right now. Should probably put this in a sub event. All right. I'm gonna put that up there. I'm gonna copy this up here, edit the conditions, that way it checks value. So if it is 0, which I put it in this particular order for this reason, if it's 0, it will turn it to 1. Thus, this won't execute until the next time this condition iterates, which I should probably add something like this, so it only happens once, because then this will hit this, and then this will do, then this will do, and then this will no longer be true next iteration, or next frame, I should say. All right. And I will look into my old interactables code to determine, or just copy that particular comment, paste it down here so I have it in a more accessible location. Here. It will go here. At the end, I will delete the object. But before then, I want to go ahead and grab the state of the player. Actually, I could just do this here since it only checks the state of the player. So let's see. Grab this condition. Actually, grab this condition since that's actually the one I want to check. So if the item is 1, then the carry item gets set to 2. If the carry item is 0, this gets set to 5. Or wait, hold on. Weapon contam, it's 6. Hopefully, this does not do anything I don't expect it to do. But since this is my programming, that's almost an immutable trait. Did I start my timer? I started my timer. There's 8 minutes left in it. if I counted correctly. I probably counted correctly. 8 minutes, 26 seconds. I didn't know that. Also, it seems like I'm going to have to expand the interact radius of particular objects, or maybe shrink down the, because it seems like this is kind of bulky for what it needs to be. Like this distance, yeah, I'd agree that's correct, but I feel like once I'm right about here, or right about here, I should be able to move over rather than. Actually, that's not too far off. But this definitely feels like a bit of a distance. Oh well. For now, it will stand. Now then, light the window. And what do we have? We have an evidence bag. We're looking for everything. And this is one thing. And now I have nothing. And nothing to show for it. That's okay. Because again, one more thing I haven't programmed in yet, but will. And will is just about now. When I will, that is. When I will is just about now. Or maybe I have. Have I? 0 goes to 1, which means that they give you an evidence bag. There's nothing. 3. Hold on. Weapon bag. Weapon bag. Contam. One, two, three. Okay. So that's what I should have been doing instead of 1 to 2. 2, I suppose, is for gloves. 1 to 3. Me probably reading this weapon. Will do nothing. Because once it actually compiles, it won't stick around. Play in window. Got a weapon bag. Not the evidence, not the evidence. Not the evidence. There's no evidence down here. Not the evidence. Is the evidence. Okay, I have something to show for it. Now all I would need to do is program in finding the body. This code should be a little easier to implement new stuff with, because it's not like incredibly unsightful. Right, so this this is neat. And this, I should probably do something similar to what I've done here. Because I want the police officer to actually turn towards the player. You know, give him a little life. I feel like this code works properly, so I'm just gonna wait a minute. I'm gonna have to change this up a bit because it's looking for interactables. Now, in theory, there will be just one police officer, but I don't want to count on that because uh, the person designing a map might decide that there's multiple. And I'd rather this be consistent. Right, this was greater than, this is equal to, less than. I'm putting more work on myself. There we go. And there. Again, stay hydrated. Especially if you live in a desert like me. Stay hydrated. Especially if you're me. This reminder goes out to me, especially. Because as much as I should, I really don't drink water all that often. Ah, yes. I'm gonna have to extend that range a bit. I'll stay a little bit longer. See if I can extend the range a bit. So I guess I should go ahead and give a range vector one for first. Said that correctly. Or just about everything would be one. save that. I'm gonna add something like that here. And I'm gonna set it to 1.5. And I'm gonna see if there's something I can do about that. There's something I can do about that from what I can tell, which is interactables dot variable range factor, if I remember correctly. Range factor. What did I set the range factor of the police officers to be? 1.5. It gives them a bit of a longer range, sure. But I feel like that's okay. And it seems like this still has the same range. Alright, I guess this is going to be it for today. If you were in the chat, except for the one guy advertising, then thank you. This will be available on YouTube tomorrow at 8 a.m. So until probably in like an hour or so, this is goodbye.